Hey everyone, part 2. In the last video you saw me do my local qualifying lap times, and today we're doing some preparation work. We're going to one of the tracks which could be on the cards if I manage to get through the next stages of BIKC. And this one is Team Sport Warrington. It's the flagship circuit, it's the biggest track they have, and it's an electric kart, so something a little bit different to what I'm used to. But what we know is this is the circuit where the grand final will be held. So if I'm lucky enough and good enough to get to the grand final, this is where we're going to be racing. So it's good to get some practice, right? With me here in the car is former British Indoor Kart Championship champion, Johnny Elliott. So he's going to show me the ropes. It's one of his local circuits. We're going to go out today together and hopefully learn the track. Here we go. How do you drive this track?
You've got to be smooth with your steering with the new braking system. Your steering inputs really matter more than they did before. Nationwide and on all Team Sport karts now for the electric, the same technique can be used throughout. That would be my main tip really, is to get used to the no need for braking and to use the steering to slow the kart down. The physicality of the track is unique. I would say this track is probably most like driving a fast owner-driver kart. After kind of 15 minutes or so, you're ready for a break. The high grip levels and the electric karts have actually increased that physicality level, believe it or not.
So since we got here slightly early, we're going to do an additional little sneaky practice before our official session today. I'm pretty sure it's a race event tonight, it's a members night. So it's going to be really quick people here, but it'd be nice to know the track before we start. I have been here before when it was petrol karts, but the track layout's changed. There's so much stuff that's different, and it's a few years ago now, so I could definitely do with the practice. Right, here we go. Right, here we are then in the electric karts for the first time. First thing I've noticed is the seat adjustment down here, much easier. You just pull a lever here and then you can adjust in a few more increments. It's not just forward, middle or back. So that's quite cool. We can do that on the fly as well. We can decide whether or not we've got understeer, oversteer, maybe move that around. We've also got a boost button down here. Now I'm going to need to use that strategically. I'm told the best place is as you come down the hill at the end of the lap. So you only get to press it once per lap, and you probably don't want to be pressing it in a section of track where you're going to have to lift off because you're wasting time that could have been on throttle. So I think down the long straight seems to be a good place to begin with. Yep, it's just the same as a normal one. Seat inserts being checked out. Some queries about the foam seat there. As I said in the last video, with this championship, if you need a seat insert, it doesn't count as part of your weight limit. So you're forced to run significantly over the weight limit if you want to be comfortable and therefore safe. And so I've just got my own version of the seat insert. I've removed the non-essential section, so it's like 1.5 kilos over rather than 2.5 kilos over. So I managed to get about 1 kilogram off, but yeah, it's being queried, so let's see. Anyway, right, here we go, on to the practice. Okay, right, let's go do some electric driving. Okay, so there seems to be a pit lane speed limiter on, I assume, because I'm full throttle and nothing's happening. All right, okay, here we go. Okay, so, first taste of electric karts here. At Team Sport Warrington, we've got yellow lights on, so I assume we're not allowed to go very fast. Johnny's warming his tyres behind. I'm not going to bother doing that just yet. Johnny, I expect, despite being 10 kilos heavier, is going to absolutely sail past me in a moment. It's going to take me a little while to learn this circuit. Oh, it's gone green. I wonder whether we can... Oh, and it's gone red. Where's the light here? Where's the nearest light? Oh, there. Let's go. Right, here we go. Let's figure this track out. Oh my god, that is so slippery. Wow, it's bumpy here. Okay, we're trying not to touch the brake pedal, so I'm told that cuts the power up. I think I've got the boost on. There is not much grip. Man, it's slippery. Much more slippery than I expected. Oh wow, that is a big delay. That is a big delay. Oh, what, have we gone slow? Why did it just slow down? That was weird, it just completely slowed down. The kart just basically stopped. Maybe I brushed the brake.
I'd now got an initial feel for the kart, and I was trying to implement the technique that Johnny had told me, which was not braking for the corners in order to avoid the throttle delay that inevitably followed. But I could feel him breathing down my neck, and I thought it was best to let him through and try and follow him to see what it was I was missing.
How do you not brake? This not braking thing is weird, and the car is very oversteery. Man, it bounces.
I learned what I could from Johnny, which was primarily that accuracy was key, and I kind of already knew that. I just needed some more practice, but there was no time for that because we were straight into our first race of the evening.
Right, here we go then. We're about to go grid up for the first race. So the way this is going to work is we have 3 heats in the grand final. I think I've pretty much learnt the track now, so I think I know where I'm going. Obviously there's a lot of perfecting left to do, but I think I need to tidy up around the edges. I think I need to learn exactly how late I can brake. Fun so far. Karts are interesting to drive. There's some key specific things you need to do when you're driving to get everything right. We're just heading around to our grid spot. I think it's quite simple when to use the boost button. That's pretty cool. I've got no idea about these guys. I know the driver behind me, number 26, is actually a lightweight. So we've got some middleweight, a lightweight, and then in the grid behind a bunch of heavyweights. For me, this is really practice. I'm going to use this as one big test session, but obviously part of testing for us is learning how to overtake and how to attack and defend around here too. If we're lucky enough to get through to the national finals, we're going to need to know how to do it really well. Oh, okay, that's pretty obvious. Okay, tyres have cooled down very quickly. Okay, 36 seems to be able to pull a little bit on us there. Let's see if we can catch him in the corners. Oh, I touched the brake. I touched the brake and it killed my power. Oh, I had a little tap of the brake there, completely killed my power. You really have to keep the brake and the throttle separate. See if we can close back up to him. Okay, using the boost. I think maybe he used his boost at the start of the lap because we closed a little bit on the straight there. Okay, I'm not sure we've got a particularly quick kart here. I need to work harder. Bogs down a lot. Oh my god, the understeer. The understeer kills me. I hate it. Yeah, we've got no front end. No front end. God, it's like being in a 100 UK car. Yeah, he's dropping us like a stone. The front end is killing me. Or lack of. Just absolutely nothing when you try and turn right. Just huge understeer.
Mate, the car's to me, yeah? Let down by it. Boring!
He was a bit slow at seeing it was green. He's a little bit better at anticipating the understeer than me.
And that's pretty much how it stayed until the finish. I was frustrated to finish second, but ultimately I hadn't quite figured out these karts yet, and it was going to take quite a few more sessions before I'd be comfortable driving with this new style.
Race 1 done. I've got a hunch our kart wasn't that good. We had pretty severe understeer and right-handers, and definitely seemed to be gapped on the straights when I was behind 36. But we're going to find out if we get to drive that kart. Race 1 done. Going to have a little break now.
I'm still really trying to get used to exactly how to get the best out of these. I make so many mistakes. On the first lap, I touched the brake whilst I was on the throttle. Instantly, that kills the power for quite a while.
Oh, I touched the brake. I touched the brake and it killed my power.
And just judging exactly when to turn and anticipate the understeer that you have, that's something that I really need to get used to too. In the hairpin, I just kept missing the apex. It didn't matter how early I turned, I still missed the apex. So it might be that particular car. Didn't really want to turn right. That's what it felt like, but Yeah, we'll keep going. Tom absolutely destroyed me though. Tom, have you done any laps of this track before?
A couple. 2 or 3.
Okay, so this isn't your first time?
It's not my first time at Warrington.
Okay, I feel slightly less bad, but okay, I'll try and give you a bit more of a race on the next one.
I'm worried about you. I was checking over my shoulder.
On to race 2, here we go.
So this kart hasn't been out, tyres are cold, and look how little tread there is on this tyre. So if I thought the last one understeered, this is going to be potentially a bit of a brutal understeer machine. We've got Tom right behind us in number 38. He's going to be putting some pressure on us. The winner from Heat 1.
As the lights came on, I was hopeful I could win this race, but it was going to rely on me driving better and having a good kart beneath me. Although I hadn't mastered these karts in the first race, every single lap was an opportunity to fine-tune my driving and get slightly better. But it was about to become clear I had a long way to go.
We've got someone right on our tail, I think that's Tom. Oh, massive understeer. Oh wow, yeah, it does not turn. Hopefully it's just cold tyres. Right, first time through these corners. Need some mirrors. He's right up behind us. As expected. Don't think this kart's as quick as the last one. Doesn't feel like it pulls off the corners as well. We've got a red flag. I think we need to reserve judgment on this kart until we've had a few more laps to warm it up, but doesn't feel as powerful. Oh, that understeer is horrendous. We need some tyre temperature. Yeah, this kart is super slow. Look at that gap! Look at that gap on the exit! It's painful.
And the rest of this heat panned out exactly as you'd expect. Tom just pulled away, and I just moaned about my kart.
Don't talk to me, anyone. No one talk to me. Roberta, if you're on the intercom, tell my taxi to be ready in 15 minutes. I'm getting out of here.
So, on to Heat 3.
Oh my god, it's right, it's race 3. Heat number 3, we had 2 seconds. Unfortunately, we're in the same kart. So we're in the same kart that I thought was rubbish in the last one. So I assume Tom in number 38 is going to drive off at front. I'm obviously still getting to grips with the track. There are sections that I'm trying to take the short lines, which I think are good, but there might be just grippier tarmac wider. So although I think wider is the wrong line for an indoor kart in particular corners, it might literally just be grippier out there and therefore worth trying it. So I'm going to explore a little bit more. I noticed Tom was going a bit wider after the first kind of bridge section. We'll give it a try. As regular viewers to this channel, you'll know I don't like understeer and I don't cope with it very well. I'm not very good at mitigating understeer. Certainly not one of my best skills, so I tend to just moan about it quite a lot. And the worst kind of understeer is understeer that then turns into oversteer on the exit, so it's just bad all round, and that's what I'm trying to figure out in these karts. There's not a lot of analog feel to the throttle pedal. It's kind of on or off. So it's quite hard to really judge those exits. You don't want to get sideways, but it's harder to feather the throttle than it is in a petrol kart. And then there's the fact that if you double pedal at all, if you blend the brake and the throttle even a tiny bit, you get a power cut for about 1.5 seconds. So that's not ideal. You have to really keep the pedal input separate, which also feels a bit unnatural. So just trying to get my head around that and get better at it. There's obviously more margin there. Let's see if we can follow Tom through.
Since this was effectively a rerun of race 2 with Tom and I in exactly the same karts, I needed to make a move early doors to prevent him from just pulling away and driving off into the distance. And as you can see, I made that move into turn 3, but now I had the problem of a much quicker kart and driver combination behind me, and a yellow helmeted race leader who would obviously pull away if I had to defend.
Right on our tail because we've got no power at all. Yeah, we're so slow on the straights in this kart. So we're trying to catch up with 21 whilst also keeping the kart behind us behind. Well, that's not going to help, is it?
And with that failed overtaking attempt from Tom losing us even more ground, this was looking like an impossible task to catch the leader.
Well, we're not going to catch up with 21, so we might as well just defend.
But unfortunately for me, even with some very determined defending, my kart just wasn't up to the task, and Tom sailed down my inside at an unusual place on the track and relegated me to 3rd position.
Look at the power 38 has. Look at how 38 just drops us on the straight. Yeah, we're in a very, very slow cut. 6-7 tenths off on the straights this cut.
Knowing full well I couldn't compete for a higher position, I decided to experiment with the seat position and therefore the weight distribution.
Trying the seat further back, so it gives us more rear stability. No, there's no more grip running wide there. It's just worse. It's just worse. It's just a slow cut. Man, these are horrible electric karts. They're really horrible. I've got nothing against electric motorsport, as you guys know well. Big fan of Formula E. I drive an electric car, and I've got quite a lot of experience driving other electric karts, but man, these do not handle nicely.
And with my little handling experiments not really bearing much fruit or making anything any better, and nothing of note happening for the rest of this race, I guess it's time to move on to the final.
Right, okay, so that's 3 heats done. Unfortunately, 2 of those heats I was stuck in an absolute shed. So hopefully for the final we'll have a better kart. But at least I'm used to the track and the karts enough that I can kind of tell when I've got a dodgy one. I'm not loving how these karts drive. You probably heard a few whinges on the onboard camera if I'm honest, but I'm going to try and get better so I whinge less and you don't have to hear that as much. And obviously so that I do better in races as well, because I haven't won a race yet. So anyway, on to the final. Fingers crossed for a good kart. Let's go.
I can hear that Ed Sheeran Formula 1 song playing. It's really grown on me. I really like it. Hallelujah. Pedal down and drive. Right, my aim in this race is to beat my best lap. We did a 52.8, but there are heavyweights who have been quicker than that today. So I want to beat my best lap. I want to get down to a 52.6, and then I'll be happy. Let's see if we can do that. And to do that, we need to not be in a battle. So we kind of need some clear air. Guys, thanks for watching so far. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Let's try and do well in this race. We're going to try and follow Tom. Alright, through to second. Let's see if we can work on Tom up. I think he's already gone. Definitely more power than the last kart. See if we can hang with him a little bit longer than before. He was much tidier than me there. I touched the brake, it killed me. It absolutely killed me on the straight there. I just nudged the brake pedal by mistake. It totally kills your power.
I just want to take a moment to point out how ridiculous this feature of these karts is. Obviously you don't want to be double pedaling, but for the brakes to just completely take away your power for the next second or so, it really is pretty dumb.
Why does it keep cutting out?
By this point I was starting to strongly suspect that it wasn't actually me braking causing the motor to cut out, but actually just a loose brake pedal which causes the sensor to trigger.
Okay, well the race isn't going to happen. So I'm just going to try and get some laps on out of this car. It feels like relatively powerful, but oh my god, the handling's shocking. It's just so bad. They're so nasty to drive. Just bounce. Look at how it's bouncing me around. It's just so bouncy, so unpleasant. Oh, it's horrible.
And once again, there was no race to speak of. I just sat here in second place, not enjoying driving the kart for the rest of the session, and finished in second place. And then my camera battery ran out, which is going to spare you some more whinging about these cars.
Well, there we go. That was the final. It was meh. The kart wasn't as quick as the karts earlier. Unfortunately, I thought it might have been a good one. It wasn't as good. I was definitely driving it better than the ones I drove earlier, but still went slower. So I think it's just going to take a while to cycle through until you get a half decent one. I am not 100% on this track and these karts. They're not very nice to drive, but that's what the competition's in, so you don't really have a choice. Can't drive other karts, these are what the karts are. So I'm going to have to just suck that up. But yeah, onto a different track. Let's try some other electric karts at a potential regional final circuit. That's where we're going now. See you there. So here we are then. Next venue is Team Sport e-karting in High Wycombe. Never been here before. Actually don't really know where I'm going here. It says level 3, so I guess we're going up in the lift. This is different. I don't know if you can see it behind me, but there is an enormous ramp section here. So I'm looking forward to that. It looks crazy. It looks like something way steeper than a normal ramp at an indoor kart track. That's gonna be quite fun. Looking forward to trying that. That's extreme. That's pretty big.
You can go over.
Here we go then, Team Sport High Wycombe, electric karts again. Basically the same as at Warrington. Here's what they look like, boost button, same again. Right, we are here at Team Sport High Wycombe. We're going out in a members session. It's a Thursday night. There's a bunch of people here who are a mixture of lightweights, middleweights and heavyweight. We've got Nico, who's actually the heavyweight leader in the BIKC qualifying standings at the moment. You'll tell him because he's got the unbelievably cool looking Arai helmet, which he tells me he just took delivery of today. My only real experience of these karts is at Warrington that you saw just a moment ago, so we're going to see whether this is different. Very, very different track surface, very, very different kind of track. Big ramps here, I think a lot twistier than Warrington, but also probably wider in sections, and obviously, as you know, totally unknown to me. You're about to see my first ever lap of the track. You're going to see me learn, you're going to see the learning process, so I'm looking forward to it. Holy shit.
Now, this isn't a race evening. This night was purely a series of practice sessions, so I'm not going to show you the entire thing. But what you are going to see here is me learning a brand new track in these cars. So I'll show you a few laps, I'll talk you through my thought processes, why I'm taking corners in a certain way, but don't worry, I'm not going to make you sit here and watch through an entire evening's practice. We'll just show this first session, and I think that'll be enough to give you a flavour of this circuit and these cars.
We must be artificially limited. We're kind of just learning. Oh, we got right, it's gone green. That means it's going to go red again as well. Whoa, jeez. That's cool. I don't know where we're going. Okay, wow, so the top speed is quite low. Red, 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 red.
For those of you who don't already know, this is just a thing that Team Sport do all the time, even in the national finals, which is bizarre. Okay, so now we're properly green and it's going to stay green. You're seeing me start my first ever flying lap of this circuit, and it begins by going up this really steep double level bridge.
Okay, so I'm flat out. We seem to be reaching top speed very early. Okay, right, we're on boost, I think. Yeah, my car's just really, really slow. I'm flat out and that dude's just dropping me.
I think, to be fair to the car, I'm also about 25 kilograms heavier than the driver in front of me, but I still don't think the kart was the best.
Okay, it needs to be more accurate then. Let's take shorter lines than him.
You'll see that's something I try and do all the time in indoor karting. Cover the shortest possible distance. This is a technique I learnt from the top drivers at the Indoor Kart World Championship.
So since the top speed's really limited, we don't need to travel as far.
You can see on this lap I got the boost timing just right and actually managed to close in on the kart in front on that long straight. And speaking of short lines, look at this through the double right-hander. Look how much shorter my distance is and how much I close up on the kart in front.
Starting to be held up. Good man, thank you very much.
What do you think of this new Team Sport High Wycombe circuit so far? I think the layout is really cool, but let me know what you think in the comments below.
I'm trying to take shortest possible lines. Very, very strange sensation because there's no top speed at all. I'm trying to work out what the best compromise is. Oh, it's got restricted then weirdly. And there, it's like the power just cut for no reason. I'm trying to really figure out what the best compromise is. It just feels so artificially limited. The sliding just seems like it cuts the power. It's absolutely bizarre. It's so weird. You've got torque, but when you get sideways, it's like the torque disappears. I'm not quite sure why. I'm trying to get my head around it. Like there, the power just disappeared.
So I have a feeling that what was happening there was something very similar to Warrington, where the brake pedal bounces and it then cuts the power for you. It's something that Team Sport really do need to look into and hopefully fix before the BIKC finals, because that's essentially a mechanical problem with the kart which could completely ruin your performance in the event.
Need to get closer to that barrier. Okay, I need to use the grip on the wood there more. Again, just cut the power there. I was nowhere near the brake pedal.
Okay, so let's end by showing you a good lap from towards the end of my session where I don't make any major mistakes.
Okay, well, that was fun, but very, very different. Again, the way the top speed just ends, you know, the way you get up to speed within a second and then boom, it's just like, it's topped out. It means you really have to change your compromise. You have to figure out, is it worth even trying to get a top speed? Is it better to just take short lines? I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure it out, but it's definitely not like with a petrol kart where if you get a good exit, then you get to keep that, you know, you get that advantage that carries on all the way down the straight. With this, you're going to hit a plateau anyway. So a bad exit doesn't actually make as much difference. It's strange. I mean, if I had a lap timer, if I could see what times I was doing, you'd be able to make a bit of a judgment. Change something, see whether it was better or worse, but it's so hard. I hate that rental kart tracks so often don't have lap timers. It's annoying.
Right, there we go. That's it. It's late at night. I need to get home. I think I've done enough. I think I understand what these are like. This is what the regionals and the national final, if I got through to that, are going to be like. This is what the karts are going to be like. And I have to say, they don't suit me. They don't suit what I like. You heard me at Warrington. I wasn't enamoured. This has kind of confirmed it. I'm going to struggle to be able to put in the effort to go practicing, because normally, you know, I don't mind rental karts, I don't mind slow karts, but normally there's at least some kind of soul to them, and these are your full throttle for so much of the time, and it's like there's no throttle modulation. You're just on or off, and there's an enormous delay. If you ever have to lift off the throttle or touch the brake, God forbid, the delay is just monumental. You're just topped out at max speed so much of the time. I don't like being negative on this channel, and I don't want to slag stuff off for the sake of it. And I'm by no means great at driving these things. You know, you just saw I'm not like the fastest by any means, but I feel like even if I was, I wouldn't be having much fun. Let's now get to the local final, see how we do, see where that sends us if we manage to get through and get to the regionals. But for the moment, this is the end of my little team sport journey. We'll pause and I'll see you when we get to the local finals. Thanks for watching this little side quest into indoor racing. I'll see you on the next one. Love you, bye.